Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Tanks. And let's get right to the news.
This is kind of interesting because it kind of bridges on something we had heard a little while back. The Godzilla -1 director Yamazaki, spoke previously, how he really would love to do a Star Wars movie, that he's a big fan.
Yeah.
We
what
watched
got him into
which got him into filmmaking,
industry, yeah.
Which is kind of cool. He was inspired by Star Wars, and in turn, he wants to contribute back to Star Wars.
Yeah.
We did a review on this movie. We thought it could possibly be the
Phenomenal.
best movie of last year.
Probably.
It was
off the top of my head, I think it is, yeah.
Very well done.
Very
If you
good,
didn't get
yeah.
a chance to see it, as soon as it becomes available for streaming or
You buy it
whatever.
on physical media so they can never take it away from you.
then you should definitely look into getting it, or at least watching it. It's a very, very good movie.
The irony of saying that on a day because of a blizzard, we have no internet. So,
It's a struggle.
yeah, so we are relying on our home media.
Yeah, so if you notice any sad images that don't seem to line up with things very well today, it's because I don't have access to the internet to
Recording
get
it
them.
and going to go upload it somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to take the
Anyway.
laptop out and
Yeah.
somewhere
We'll
with
survive.
internet.
First world problems, yes.
Yeah, it happens.
Yes.
We're okay.
We're fine. We can live without the internet. I've done it for years in my past, so
Imagine that.
yeah, you too.
Plus, we have plenty of things in the house to entertain us.
Yes, and each other.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but following up from that original story, we got a tweet that just came out. Lucasfilm did a screening of Godzilla -1. They got introduced they got to talk to director Yamazaki, and there was a Q&A with him.
He was the
No, he got a Q&A.
well, yeah. If I'm a huge Star Wars fan and I get taken to Lucasfilm, I want to be the one asking the questions. But
Right.
it's a joke. But yes, obviously with him.
He signed the poster's copy of the Japanese theater program for Godzilla -1, and apparently that this was organized by Ken Ibrahim and Dave Filoni. Exciting, because what could that mean? Why was it that they wanted to have a
Of all
private
the movies,
screening?
yeah.
They wanted him to come and do a. Cause come on, let's face it. Lucasfilm could rent out a theater and go see a movie.
I think they probably
for
have
their company holiday, whatever,
Yeah,
if they wanted
I'm sure
to.
they have a pretty nice screening room somewhere at Lucasfilm, which is probably where they watch this, obviously. But yeah, they don't need to.
Yeah. So January 10th, they had a movie screening as a company, or at least with certain individuals within the company, including one Dave Filoni,
Yeah.
along with a Q&A, which is what I find the most interesting, because what kind of things were they asking about? Were
Would
they
you like
asking
to
about
direct a Star Wars movie?
Were they asking about story beats? Were they asking about the visuals?
It sounds like an interview, right? I mean, that's probably what it was.
Q&A/interview. Would you like to work here, or maybe make a film?
Yeah. We've got this thing called the Zillow Beast. Maybe you could do something with it.
We've used
We
it
tried
a
to bring it
couple of
back, and then,
times.
yeah.
We're making armor out of it, I think. I don't know.
I don't know. We got this thing. Maybe you'd be... But no, I mean, I would... After seeing that movie, I would love to see what he did with Star Wars. And I'm not saying it has to be a Zillow Beast or anything like that. Obviously, that was a joke.
I'm
But
the one who always calls it a Xylo Beast by
I
mistake.
used to call it a Xylo Beast. I think it's
I think
Zillow
it sounds
Beast.
cool, but I think you're right. It's supposed to rhyme with pill, Zill.
Oh, Zillow. Is it Zillow or Xylo or...
Zillow.
The big monster that Palpatine was like, yes, we will use this to advantage.
Hopefully
Yeah.
I had a picture of that somewhere and put one up. I think
I
I
got
do.
it. If not, I got a million Star Wars pictures on my computer. So.
But what did they learn? Did they learn anything from him? I would have to be a fly on the wall at this Q&A to see what did Dave Filoni, what did the other Lucasfilm heads, what did they ask? What kind of questions were they interested in? What did they take from him? What knowledge did they wish to gain?
I hope they gained some knowledge because they could use a little of whatever he put into that movie, like Lucasfilm. I mean, Filoni and company could use a little bit of that.
Well, with Lucasfilm wanting to do more live-action movies and moving Dave into live-action projects, him asking questions of a director who does live-action work and did such a phenomenal job portraying a very human story set in a world where Godzilla exists is amazing. He could learn a lot. But I also want to know if maybe they are thinking about inviting him as a director in the future to maybe actually get to work on a Star Wars project like he wants to.
You've got to imagine that had to be on the table, right? You don't make that the statement he made, and then a couple weeks later, you're at Lucasfilm screening your movie and doing essentially a Q&A or interview without the thought being there, right, for both sides.
But what kind of stipulations would he have to work under as a director? Would that stifle him too much? Would it keep him from wanting to work?
We know Kennedy has had her issues with directors, hasn't she? So maybe that's why we didn't hear about her at the screening. Maybe this was a coup.
She didn't come.
It's a coup. They're taking over.
She's like, wait, this wasn't made by a woman. I'm out. Sorry. Low blow. I know.
That was low. But hey, here's the question, though. Assuming that is on the table, him directing a movie, like when? Because we have a pretty full slate.
Oh, come on. It's because half of those things may not be coming.
I didn't want to...
They have to keep filling the slate so that they can at least get some of that.
You're being generous if you think half of them are going to get made.
Not to mention, we don't know what other obligations he has. He might be like a Taika Waititi where he's like, I've got 6 movies and then I'll work on it, maybe.
Or, here's the crazy idea. You get offered Star Wars and you put the other things on the back burner. Unlike everybody else. It's like, I got hired to do Star Wars, but I got like 7 other projects lined up first.
I mean, that's what worries me, though, is these stipulations because... he went into making this Godzilla movie. He made a phenomenal film, a very interesting film on a smaller budget.
Tiny, yeah.
When the
15
graphics
million
looked
maximum
great.
that was. We don't know the exact, yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Why can't he do it? Would there stipulations against telling him how he has to write a story, telling him how this has to be structured?
We don't even know that they're putting stipulations on it. You're assuming.
Well, they have to. He's going to be in the Star Wars sandbox.
Well, yeah, I know. I know what you mean. Yes, there are obviously rules to playing in the sandbox.
There are certain pieces of canon you can and cannot play with.
Well,
would they just give him an original place? Here's a planet. Make a story on this planet. Just make sure it's not something that could be ramifications.
I don't know. They seem to let anybody go in that sandbox and dig up ramifications these days. So,
well, I would love to see him make a Star Wars project. I would love to know.
Very curious.
If anyone has any information about what happened at this Q&A, I'd love to know too.
Ooh, you want like insider information?
I just want to know what kind of questions they asked. It doesn't have to be like, so, did he ask him about making a movie? I'm just curious what kind of Q&A questions, because obviously this was planned, meaning they probably wrote up questions in advance. It wasn't just spur of the moment.
And putting it out there too, like maybe they want reaction from fans to see what they think of the idea as well.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's curious all around, and I don't think it's some kind of like strange coincidence. We just wanted to see Godzilla. That was it. There's nothing else to this at all.
And they realized they missed the chance to see it in the theaters.
Yeah, that's why they flew him in with a copy. Like, hey, that left our theaters, so you mind coming over here and bringing it?
Yeah, can you just bring us a copy?
Yeah.
Do you have a director's cut?
Yeah.
Do we get to meet Godzilla? No.
Do you want to? Not this Godzilla, anyway.
All right. But speaking of Dave Filoni, he also released, when they dropped the news that Ahsoka was getting a season 2, he released his sketch for season 2.
Dun, dun, dun.
The story continues.
In Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
I mean, no.
Look, they also found the statues.
Ooh.
And Ahsoka might remember what those are.
You think?
It was kind of an important moment.
Yeah. Yes, she did. Like, there's a lot of people who seem to think like they got their memory wiped. Only Anakin got his memory wiped of what he saw in the future, his future.
They just never talked about it again.
No,
it was really,
why would you, right? I mean,
it was really
weirdest
weird.
Experience ever. Let's never talk about it again. It
almost made the episode feel like it was implied, because they never talked about it again. They just forgot all about it, and they're never like, hey guys, maybe should we talk about what happened? Should we bring this up to the Jedi Order about what we found?
Nah.
No, we'll just keep it on a
It does get referenced at one point later on. I can't remember when and where. Somebody will remember in the comments, but it does get referenced later by somebody else mentioning that it happened to them. Why do I want to say Mace Windu or a Yoda? I don't know.
It stinks, though, because I don't want to read into this picture, but at the same time, reading into this picture says...
They follow Balin.
They're following Balin, that the story is going to follow the Mortis gods, that this is important, whatever it's pointing to is important, and that's where our story should be going. Look, the plot, it's over there.
Dave is very direct with his storytelling. That way to the plot, ladies.
To the plot, everyone.
Yes.
Turn and follow the pointing finger.
Follow the finger.
It's telling you where to go.
Does this mean... I mean, we've kind of speculated what would Season 2 look like. Would it be split up between Ezra and Hera and what's going on in the main galaxy and between them? Or would we just get a full season of following Balin around?
I would like to get a full season of following one story rather than trying to follow 2.
Yeah.
Because they tried to do that in this season a little bit. Like, let's follow...
Every now and then,
Well, they kept splitting off to what is Hera going through, and I'm like,
Hera and her
nobody cares.
Silly
we want to
little
see
Senate
Ezra.
meeting, yeah.
We want to see what's going on there. No, if they want to continue following the others, they're probably going to have to do it in a different show, somehow.
Yeah, Rangers of the New Republic Reborn,
or
with
Bo-Katan's Mandalorian.
Yeah, or that. Though I think it would make more sense in a Rangers show.
I know. There needs to be a show that's just like talking about what's going on with everything at the time.
Just do like a podcast.
Yeah.
An in-universe podcast. Like, this is what's going on right now in our universe.
Ezra Bridger bringing
Wink.
the podcast, bringing the news.
Yeah, there you go. That would
Transmitting
be perfect.
from Lothal,
Ezra,
yes,
he does a
just
little,
like his parents.
I love it. Ezra just broadcasting the news to the galaxy.
Hey guys, I'm back.
And it takes, since you know how long it takes to get...
You can call me Jabba. And everyone's like, dude, that name's not cool
No,
anymore.
dude, it's not.
Leia won't like that.
No. But no, we can just pretend it has taken that long, all these light years to, reach Earth. And now we're getting his actual original podcast. I love it. He was the first podcaster.
Oh.
A long, long time ago from a galaxy far, far away.
All right, last piece of news I'm going to bring up today. PlayStation 1's Star Wars The Phantom Menace is coming to PlayStation Premium January 16th. Yes, the OG game. The Phantom Menace, Star Wars Episode 1.
I don't remember playing
that. It came out on the PS1. It's going to be part of that premium subscription tier on their digital library service that's on the 16th of January. It allows like PS4 and 5 owners the ability to download and play from a library of PS1, PS2, and PSP games. PS3 games are available via like cloud streaming.
Oh.
Yes. But you could actually go and play the original one there. It's going
Curious.
to be in the classic catalog.
So it's just like as is, no like redo or anything like that? Because I don't think I've ever actually played that game.
No, it's supposed to be as is.
Okay, curious.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. Playing those like really old games on the modern systems just feels so weird because you pay for the modern systems for like the processing power and the graphics, and it's like, no man, I'm playing PS1 games.
What feels so weird, and I'd imagine other people my age have the same problem or same thing that happens. Like I remember like Atari going into Nintendo and things like ColecoVision and television. I remember when I was like a kid, probably high school age, like Nintendo 64 graphics and like. They looked phenomenal. Like PS1 graphics, I was blown away. Now I look at them, I'm like, what? Those look terrible.
Little stick figures
yeah,
over there?
look at that. Look how bad that looks. Like, it's the craziest thing. I remember just being awed by them, thinking I was like, this is like so real. And now I look at it like, what the hell? How did I think that was so real?
Did I enjoy this at one time?
Yeah, did I play this? And then, I mean, they're still the games themselves are fun and the graphics are fun. I mean, it's just a weird thing of looking back at some of the games you loved as a kid. Or as a, teens, whatever it might have been, and being blown away by them, and now you look at them and you're like, how was I blown away by that? Anyway, stupid story for the day.
Oh, good.
So that's going to be all we got for you this time. Now it's your turn to take to the comments below. Tell us what you think of any and all of today's news, and let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.